Hello guys, so today we have another questions. Let's start. Okay, the lead code questions, we have design circular queue, right? We have a second question, design circular queue. Design your implementation of circular queue. The statement, first line of statement is saying design your implementation of circular queue. The circular queue is linear data structure. Let me zoom little bit, right? So we will understand clearly. So the circular queue is a linear data structure in which the operations are performed based on FIFO, first in first out, right, principle, and the last position connected back to the first position to make a circle, right? We know the queue, right? Queue is operated based on which principle? First in first out, right? First in first out. It means when the data will come in the data structure, right, first that will go what in out, right? First they will get out. Okay, next we have to understand, and the last position is connected. The last position that we have just entered is connected back to the first, right? So then it will be a circle. Okay, so it is also called ring buffer, right? So some people also say ring buffer, right? It is also called ring buffer. One of the benefits of a circular queue is that we can make use of spaces, right, in front of queue. One of the benefits of circular queue is that we can make use of spaces in front of queue. Okay, so in normal queue, once queue become full, we cannot insert the next element even there is a space in front of queue, right? In normal queue, what is happening? If the queue is already full, so we cannot insert the next element. However, if we have the space in front of the queue, but using the circular queue, we can use the spaces to store new value. So by using circular queue, what we can do? We can use the space to store new value, right? So we have a class that is called MyCircularQueue class, and it's have a different methods, right? So we will see here how we will develop. Like we have front, rear, queue, dequeue, is empty, and is full, right? Is full. So these are the methods we have. And for the example, you can see here, let me expand a little bit. So as you can see, this is the input we have, right? The first input is rear, right? And the last input is MyCircularQueue, right? And these are the fields we have the data. You can say size you can take, right? So the output will be null and it'll start from last 4, right? It will start from 4 to null. So explanation is saying we will create one object of this MyCircularQueue class, and then we will enqueue some data, like 4 data we are enqueuing, right? So in the last fourth position, right, in the fourth queue, enqueue data, we can't do that because it's already full. We have taken size 3, right? So it will be full and it will give a false value, right? We don't have the space to enter. Now we have MyCircular rear, right? Then we are going to return the rear value. So it will return 3. Then is full we will check. Then it will say true. And then we will check dequeue. Then we will return true, right? We can dequeue. Then we will enter 4 now. Then it will say, yeah, you can do that. And it will return true. Now again we will check the rear value. So rear value now it will be changed from 3 to 4, right? Because last value we have entered 3, right? So in this way we will do this thing, right? So let's start the code. So we have this method, and then we will start doing this. Okay, so first of all we will take some of the things that we have to take care of, like the variables we need to here. These are the methods we have, and we have to write some method, some variables that is required. Like we will take private int, and we can take the full name front, right? We can take full name front. Similarly, we will take private int, we can take a rear, right? And what we can take a array, right? So private int, size should be in the array, right? We can take an array, and then we will take a private int and cap, right? That will take the, so these are the variables we have, and we will use these variables in the program. So okay, so these are the methods we have, right? Okay, and then we have this one. Yeah, let's go on. So first we will start from here, right? We will start from here. So let's start. We will take we are taking int as a int k, like we will take a value in the queue, and it will generate a circular queue, right? So in the array we are taking the size of the new, right? As you see in the example, we have taken starting 3, that is the size of the queue, right? So it is k, right? So it will initialize the value. Then we can take the capacity that we have taken above. Capacity is k, and we can take front, right? So front is what we have front. We have initially we will take -1. We do not have data here, so we will take -1. Otherwise we will take some another value we can take what we have. So initially we will take in rear also as a -1. We do not have front and rear now. Initially we will initialize with these values, right? Now what we can do, we can make 2 methods now for checking the previous and next value, right? So first we will take private int next and int I, right? Int I, it will give you the next ID of the circular queue, right? After I, that we have the I, right? So let's return the next ID, we will calculate, right? So I plus 1, the next ID will be there, and we will check with the capacity, right? If capacity is there, if capacity is okay, then it will return the value, otherwise it will not return, right? Next, similarly we have we will take a previous thing, so we will copy these things and we will paste again. One we will take next, and then we will take previous, right? We take right? Previous for we can take, right? And then in this, what we have to take? We have to take I plus capacity -1, and then this one, right? We will check previous, right? We'll check capacity -1, and whatever the value we have, that we will take, right? And then we will check with the capacity. If you have any doubt, I'll give you in the comment box the why we have taken this formula. Okay, next we have in queue, right? What we have? We have in queue. So in queue we will enter some value, right? So first we have to check what we have to check. Let me little zoom, right? Okay, right? We will take in queue value, right? So in this we will check first is what we have is full, right? So we have is full, right? Method, and it should return what? This should be the base case, you can say false. And if front equal to -1, means we do not have data here, right? So in this case we will initialize front equal to 0, right? Front equal to, we will take front equal to 0, then we will take rear equal to 0, we have initialized the value, and then rear, then we will take array, right? We will take array of rear size of rear at index rear equal to value. We will store the value here, and then we will return true, right? If we have -1, means these things we have to do, correct? We will do, and in the last position, in the rear value, the front, right, we have to add the value. If that is not available, right, so in that case we have to check if rear doesn't have -1, then we will add, then we will do what? We will move to next id, right? Whatever the rear we have, that will do. So we are passing rear, and rear plus 1 we will get the next value, and array of rear will store value. Got it? Rear plus 1 will take as a value, and after that, that's the same thing. What you can do, we will return if the front doesn't have a -1, right? If doesn't have -1 means it's already have data, right? So we will increase the rear position. Next, for the DQ, what we have to do? We have to DQ the value, right? So first we will check if is empty, right? Is empty is a method, and we will take a return. We will take a that will is empty is false, right? Is empty is it will return false. Then if is true, then we will return false. Okay. And the next condition we have to do, like front we will check with the rear, and in this case two things will happen, right? If front is equal to rear, means we have to do front and rear should be -1, that we have did just above, right? While doing in queue, we will check if it is -1, then we are setting the value front and rear 0, right? And we are adding the value here on the rear. But while we removing the data, if this is the case, right, it is rear, then we will updating the value, right? Again, and then we will take return, and it should be true, right? If that is not the case, if front is not equal to rear, right, then we have to increase front equal to with the next front, right? We are updating the front, and then we will return true. Got it? I think you understand, right? First we will check empty is empty, then we are not going to remove the data, right? We do not need to remove the data and DQ the data. If the front is rear, then we will update the update the front and rear, right? And then we will do true. If not that the case, we will update the front, and then we will return true. Now what is front and rear will do? That is very simple thing. First we will check if rear equal to -1, means we don't have data, right? Then we don't have a rear, correct? Then what we have to do? We have to return the rear value. Whatever the rear have the data at index of rear we have, that we will return the rear value. and that we will return in the we have the front, right? This is the front thing, right? okay, no problem. We will do here, this is the rear thing, right? This is the rear thing, and similarly you can do for the front also, right? We will take front, right? Front -1, then return, otherwise return the front value. That is not, both are equally same. Front and rear we will check the position. If data have -1, return -1, otherwise return the position of the data, right? Very simple. And the last second last we have is empty. We will return directly, no need to go front equal to what? -1 we will return if this is empty. Okay. And for the is full, what we will do? We will return what? We will return front not equal to what? -1, and next is rear equal to front. So it will check the full, right? Let me zoom out. Yeah, the code is accepted. The code has been accepted, right? So first what you have to do, first we will go through, we will make front, rear, array and capacity things. Then we will initialize with the k, that we will enter the size of the circular queue, that will initialize the array value, and capacity, front and rear we have to initialize. Then we will check for the next, we will go with the I+1, and with the capacity we will check with the capacity, and then we will check with previous I plus cap -1 with the percentage. And for the in queue we will check first, is this full. If this is full, then we do not need to do anything, we will return back with the false. And if that is not the case, if front have -1, then we will add the data, right? We will add the data and we will update the data. And if that not the case, if front is not -1, we have some data we have, then we will update the rear, and array of rear should be updated with the value that we will enter, and then we will return. Similarly, if we have to do dequeue, then we will check first, is it empty, then return, no need to dequeue the data, no need to remove the data. And then we will check with if front equal to rear. In that case we will have to update front equal to minus and rear equal to -1, then we will return then we will return true. And if front is not equal to rear, right, then we will do front, we have to update front equal to next front, right, update, and then it will return true, right? We have done with the dequeue. And similarly, what we have to do for the front, we will check if this is -1, then we return -1, otherwise we will return array of front, right? Similarly, we will do with the rear. If rear have rear equal to -1, then we will return -1, otherwise we will return the rear value. Similarly, we will check the empty. If is it empty, then rear front will be -1. And for the is full, what we will check, if front not equal to 1 and next is rear, then equal to front. Okay, so if you have any doubt, let me know. If you have a doubt on these two things,